Hello and welcome back to our channel. In this video, I'll show you top 10 Excel shortcuts to boost your productivity. So let's jump into the video and start with the number 10. And here you can see that we have got the salesperson alongside some missing data from the first name and the last name. Now to fill this in, we can go one by one. Here for the first name and the last name. Now to fill this in, we can go one by one. So write Ryan there and then Robert and so on. Or you can use the shortcut, and here's the shortcut. You just write the first name here and then press Ctrl E, and then you can see that it's going to fill all of these in just a second. The same thing goes with the last name. Write Ellie and again press Ctrl E. If we look over to the side where it says total sales here, let's say that we want to find out the total of that. Now to do that, let's just go up toward the bottom here, and all we need to do is set the alt equals. That's going to sum up all of these total, and just hit enter just like that. And there we got the total. Next up, the number 8. Suppose we want to copy the total amount and paste it somewhere else. So we will go to control up here, and all we are gonna do is control space, and that's going to copy that whole column for us. And then we will go control C. Let's say we want to paste it over here under column M, and control V, but the problem is that it goes all to 0, and that's because it was actually a formula. So beforehand it was actually calculating the total sales, which was the price and the item sold, but now because it's not referencing that anymore, it no longer works. So instead that we are gonna copy it again. So go to control space and then control C, and this time instead of just control V, we are going to press control alt V, and you can see that this is going to show this paste special dialog box, and within this you can just paste the formula, the formats, etc. In our case we want to paste the values. That's what is going to give us the actual number, so we will just click on that and hit OK. And now you can see that it's pasted at the values, and if we look inside of them, they no longer have the formula either. Okay, let's move on to number 7. We have got formatting shortcuts now. So suppose over here that we want to change this from a dollar sign to, let's say, euro. And within this we want to go under currencies and we want to change this to a euro sign. So this one is the one that works for us, and let's say we also want to add one decimal place, and basically that would do it for us. But as you can see, within format cells you can also change a lot of other things like the font, the fill, etc. And here we can go for an orange fill as well to identify the euro sign. Hit OK. Now you can see that it's all reformatted. And now if you want to replicate this step, and what you can do is actually press the F4 key, which is another shortcut, which is basically going to replicate the previous step. So it's going to keep the same, the number that was there originally, but it's just going to change the formatting. All right, now moving into the top 5, and over here let's just go back to this side of the dataset. And within the country name, here you will notice that Canada has a typo where it's got two A's. Now to get rid of that, instead of going one by one, which could be quite tedious, especially if you have a long set of data, you just gotta go to Control H, which is the replace feature. Define and replace. So we want to find the texture with two A's, so Canada there with the two A's, and we want to replace that with a regular Canada as it should be spelled. Then from here we are just gonna go to replace all, and it's just gonna say okay, we made replacements, hit OK there, and we are gonna close out that. Now that we have fixed that, let's say that we just want to filter by Canada. So instead of going ahead and having to apply a full filter, all we need to do is just right click on Canada, go under filter there, and we want to filter by the selected cell value. So just click on that, and here you can see that we have all of the Canada country details that's been filtered. Let's just remove the filter for now. Another great way to filter is using slicers. Now to do so, first we are going to convert this into a table. So go to Control T, and then it's going to select the data set. And then it's going to select the data set, make sure it's all correct, and hit OK. Now from here we are gonna do is under table design, we are gonna go to insert slicer. So just click on that. Then we want a slicer specifically for the country. This is going to allow us to select different countries. So hit OK there. And if we want to select Canada again, all we need to do is click on Canada, and that's going to filter it for us. Same thing goes with any other country. Similarly, if you want to select more than one, you have got to go to the stick sign here. But this doesn't make sense in my dataset because I only have two countries. Okay, so in number two, we have a common issue that people encounter. Let's suppose that we want to find out the top three sold items. So we will just type that here, the top three items sold. And so for the top one, it's simply going to be the max function, which is going to take the highest one, right? So we are just going to go is equal to max, hit the top key, and we are going to select all of these here and hit enter, and there you go. But for the second and third one, we can no longer use the max function. So instead, there comes what's known as the large function. We can write is equal to large and select this data, put a comma, and we want the second highest, so we have to write here 2. Close those brackets and hit enter. And for the third one, we are just gonna copy the cell down, and then within it, we just have to change the number from 2 to 3. Just like that, we have the top 3. And finally, as the number 1, let's suppose that it was our new intern that sent us this file, and we doubt her. So we just want to make sure that the all formulas just make sense. Now to do so, what we can do is actually hit the control key and this accent key of sorts. It's basically going to allow us to see all of the formula and where they are going. Okay, alright. So that was the top 10 Excel shortcuts. If you found this video to be helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and I'll catch you in my next video.